Hey everyone, this is Ulysses, and I want to welcome you to today's special video podcast interview. And I have my man over here with me. His name is Mike, all right, Mike Lee.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hello. Hi, Ulysses. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. And there is a very specific reason why I want to bring you on to this particular video interview here today, because I know that you have spent a lot of time on this, like one of the most powerful social platforms in the world today that we all are familiar with. That is LinkedIn,
Yes.
right? And I want to pick your brains over here on this particular conversation so that both me and my audience and whoever is watching this right now will be able to really implement some strategic and tactical stuff on LinkedIn, right? For their branding purposes, for their business, for sales, for any good things that's going to come along that way. So is that okay? I do that with you, Mike?
Definitely. I'm happy to share. I mean, there's so much that I have over the last few years on LinkedIn, and I think there's so much potential on the platform. Yep.
Right. And I think for some of you who are like not familiar with a little bit about my social media journey, I just want to give you a quick, really 20 seconds like overview why I want to do this with Mike today. For the longest time ever, I have been a social media dinosaur. I haven't had my like very first Facebook account all the way until like 2017. And in fact, I only first had my LinkedIn account set up like less than from the time of recording this thing, about less than 6 months ago. Yeah, 6, 7, 8 months ago, kind of thing. So I've always been like super obsessed with like how people are like using these social media platforms to really grow their business, to connect with people that are like their ideal clients, and to really get themselves out there and be known out there in the market. So that is one thing that I'm always fascinated about. So I know that Mike has a lot of experience over here in this area. So now, Mike, if there is one thing that you can actually help us to understand, all right, we all know social media is like important. We all know that. But tell us a little bit specifically about LinkedIn. Why should people in today's world be on LinkedIn?
Well, the one very important statistics that we want to know is that there is a growing trend of people getting onto LinkedIn. Right now, the numbers is about 600 million, right? But let's put the statistics aside and the intention of why we want to be on LinkedIn. Right? Just a little bit about myself, why I came onto LinkedIn in the first place. A bit about my story is that a few years ago, when I transited out from the military to join another government job as a career coach, what I was doing was helping people, unemployed people, right, to look for jobs. And one of the avenues that I keep hearing people talk about was LinkedIn. And I was wondering, how does this work, right? So I really dived deep into learning how it works so that I can help my clients to look for jobs using LinkedIn. And over the years, I just became obsessed with using LinkedIn. And why people should be on LinkedIn is simply because it is a totally different social media platform from the others that you have, like Facebook and Instagram, in that it is almost like a learning platform. You learn from people's experience every day. You know, it's true value, people's corporate experience, their business experience. This is suitable for people who are in, let's say, business, right? If they are looking for clients, they are doing sales, corporate professionals, anyone can learn something from there, right? You learn about different expertise. So what I've learned so far is, knowledge from procurement, from project management, from engineering, so many different things, right? This is the only platform where you can get such a diverse amount of experience. And, if you are not really into entertainment, you really just want to focus your mind on learning, this is one of the best platforms, because people tend to have a lower tolerance for entertainment related kind of topics, but they are really out there to contribute, to really showcase their expertise, right? This is the best place, I would say.
That is very interesting. A very interesting point that you have made. You know what? For the past 6, 7, 8 months that I have been on LinkedIn, you know what is one post that I really wanted to do on LinkedIn. I haven't done it yet. Maybe I should do it first thing tomorrow morning.
Oh,
I wanted to
I'm looking for it.
I wanted to ask people openly on LinkedIn, like, why do you behave so differently on Facebook versus LinkedIn? It's like I see the same person. I have connection to both, like on both different platforms on with the same person on both Facebook and also LinkedIn. But you know what is the biggest contrast over here that I witnessed? I'm sure you've seen the same. I'm sure anyone would have also witnessed this. Is that people are a lot more casual, are a lot more
Hmm.
relaxed, are a lot more open in terms of discussing things that is of a different nature. But the moment once they are on LinkedIn, they tend to be a lot more professional. They tend to be a lot more corporate. They tend to behave themselves a bit more stern. Is that the thing? Is that the thing that you see as well, Mike?
Yeah, that is the general trend. But it doesn't mean that you can't bring the more relaxed side. Because a lot of times the content you post, even for myself sometimes, what I do is I also sometimes post something that is more relaxed, in a more relaxed kind of manner. But what a lot of people like to see on LinkedIn at the end of the day is your thought leadership, right? It is not a
Right,
place where you see influencers who just showcase their achievements.
right,
I mean, there are people who showcase their achievements, but they are sometimes more often than not being frowned upon because it shows like it's just a show off. What people
right,
come onto the platform is to learn something, right? If you achieve something, they want to learn your whole journey, right? What was your journey? What are challenges that you face? How do you overcome those challenges, right? And it's the same, right? People continue to want to listen to your stories. They continue to want to hear your vulnerabilities, right?
right,
Because it's human nature after all. I mean, Ulysses, you are the expert in analyzing human behaviors. Humans behave the same on different, even if on different platforms. It's just that
right,
every platform has their own what we call a native language, right? People go onto
right,
Facebook, they don't really go on there to, uh, maybe the expectation is not to learn something so deep, right? Probably it's just a place for them to connect with friends, to
right.
to get some entertainment, perhaps, right? But when I go on LinkedIn, I just suddenly, most of the time people would put on a different hat, right? Where
Yeah,
it's learning mode. What can I learn, right? And I have to kind of, most people think that I have to behave more professionally because if let's say I want to attract a certain job opportunity or business opportunity, I
yeah,
want these people to see me in a professional manner where
yeah.
I am seen as the thought leader, the expert in my field.
Right. So throughout your experience with LinkedIn, interacting with so many people, making that number of connections that you have right now. Now, Mike, tell me a little bit about if there is going to be one potential pitfall that most LinkedIn users are falling into all the time.
Mm.
Like, what do you think is like the single biggest mistake for most LinkedIn users right now?
Single biggest mistake. I can name quite a few, but top of mind, right? There are so many, right? But top of mind, the number one thing that most people don't realize, I wouldn't call it like a mistake. It is
Right.
probably a blind spot that most people have, right?
Okay.
It's still a very conventional mindset that they bring into LinkedIn,
Okay.
because when LinkedIn first started, it is almost just like a jobs portal,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of times people think that, oh, I go on LinkedIn is to find jobs, right?
Yeah.
They go on with this mindset. And this mindset has been, it's like legacy, right? People keep thinking that, oh, if I update my LinkedIn, then my people will think that I want to change job, things like that. And they
Right.
also use it almost like a platform where they showcase their resume. So what happens is that when they write their profile summary about themselves, they write
Yeah.
it the same way as they would write the introduction in their resume. So it
Right.
becomes, when a hiring manager wants to find out more about candidate, right? He has gone through his resume and saw this link on his resume, uh, and he clicks onto this LinkedIn profile of this person, this candidate. And
Yep.
the next thing he sees is the exact copy of what is on the resume. Right. So it doesn't really show that side of you. Yes, it's a professional
Okay.
platform, but there is a way to present yourself in an attractive manner
Okay.
and yet professional as well. Right? Because
All right.
yes, I understand that if you want to put your resume in a very professional way, so
Right.
I see some people with their LinkedIn profile summary written passionate individual with 20 years of experience in sales in the engineering industry.
Right.
Right? So it's if I were to read 20 of these resume, I would quickly just go on to the next one already, right? Because everyone's
Okay.
the same, right? And the same thing is if you want to attract people to read your profile, you come up with that, you give people that kind of impression again. Oh no, I'm reading another resume. This guy, is he like a
Okay.
robot, right? And what we want to do is to also show others that we are human, right? So if I were to say how you can overcome this is to tell your career story, right? Your career journey. Right? This is what I
Okay.
like to do, right? To just say like how did you first start in your career and how do you transit to where you are today, right? Do that as a start. So after that, you can talk about your expertise whatsoever, what kind of services you offer, what people can contact you for. But always start with a story because that story will attract people to want to find out more about you.
Okay. How important is the profile um, in LinkedIn? I know like for Facebook, I mean obviously I spent a slightly longer time on Facebook than on LinkedIn. I know on Facebook is totally like not important. Like nobody cares about like profile, right? People read your posts, your all the updates you do on your timeline. But for LinkedIn, obviously it's a little bit different. How important is a person's profile on LinkedIn itself?
I would say it is one of your most important asset on LinkedIn. If you want to
Okay.
be active on LinkedIn, you want to be seen as the expert, as the thought leader, you want to attract opportunities, your profile is
Okay.
very, very important because when people click into the profile, you know, what I like to do is to find what is my usual behavior. What are the things that I look at first? Their profile picture, their profile summary, their cover photo, what are their experiences. So these are the things
I
that
see.
I look at first. And I believe that is how where the areas where people look at as well. Right. So I judge people based on that because it is social media
Mm-hmm.
after all. Right. We make step judgments like that. Right. This
Yeah.
person, if he has a very poorly taken profile photo, I would just, I may
Yeah.
consider not connecting with him, right? Or if let's say this person is just has a very unprofessional tagline,
Yeah.
headline, or he's someone who sounds very desperate, looking
Yeah.
for a job. What this happens is that it actually drives people away. People would not want to connect with you because their first thought would be, if I connect with this person, is he gonna ask me to connect him to a job, give him a job,
Yeah.
things like that, right? So I would say your profile is very, very important. If you get
Right.
it right, it can increase your visibility. In fact, just today, I have one of my clients message me
Mhm.
uh, this afternoon.
Okay.
So what we did was she went through what I prepared. I prepared a guide, right,
Yeah.
which is available for download now on my website. So she followed it strictly to help her to craft her profile. And
Okay.
today, for the first time, she got approached by a recruiter. And before that, her
Okay.
profile is those that nobody
Impressive.
wants
Yeah.
to see. Nobody wants.
Impressive.
She had hardly any profile views. And over the last few months, she was still hardly active on LinkedIn. But after she changed her profile, she only changed it in December, which was about 2 months plus ago,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Around end December. And now she already has people approaching her. And I'm not surprised if she has more coming along the way.
And that is just changing the things that she put on her profile.
Yes, exactly. Without doing anything, she was hardly active. You know, I was
Right.
looking at her activity. Maybe she likes a few posts here and there. She is
Right.
not. actively participating in any conversations.
Right. That is like a mind blowing like thing to note. To be honest with you, Mike, is that now if I think back about how we use like again Facebook, right? It's like whenever that we see something, somebody posts on something, and it's either we just continue scrolling through, or if we are interested to know a little bit more about the person, what we actually will do is to click on the person. And you know what's the first thing that we immediately do is to actually keep on looking at what that particular person has posted, like for the past several days to a week kind of thing. But we are focused on the things that that particular person has posted. Whereas on LinkedIn, once we are interested in a particular person, we click on that person's like a profile kind of thing. The first thing we look at, now that's interesting because I just noticed it, like what I do as well when you actually said that. The first thing we do is that we click on the person's picture, the headshot, and we start to read every single thing on that
Yep.
person's profile, like what's the previous job, what is he doing right now, what is the resume, the biography kind of thing, like and we started to actually pay attention to that person instead of the articles or the previous posts that the person has actually written. Now that is like a mind-blowing thing that you pointed out. And I understand now why that you say that the profile is so important, because that's the first thing that we jump into looking at a person on LinkedIn, right?
Yes, yes.
So if there is one thing, Mike, one thing that I'm just going to push this a little bit further for the sake of all our audience that's watching this right now. If there's one thing anybody can actually ramp up, all right, their profile visibility. All right, there's one thing. I know there's probably like a dozen things that anyone can do, but there's just one thing. What would you recommend a person to do immediately today on the profile so that they can actually increase more visibility and it's going to make a better first time impression on other people that's viewing their profile?
Right. So what I would say is it's more than one thing, right?
Yeah,
But your profile is that one, that one important thing, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
what I like to do is to deconstruct what I like to see first, right? And I
right,
use it to confirm with people around me. I'll ask them, when you look at a person's profile, right, what is the first thing you look at? So they usually tell me
yeah,
profile picture, your cover photo, your headline, your profile
right,
summary, and
right,
your your name, right? Some people even say your name. And these are the
yeah,
5 things that most people look at. So if you have
okay,
to sort out anything within your profile, I would say it's these 5 things. And in fact,
okay,
this is what I've written about. I've written a guide which is downloadable at my website. It's called 5 Critical Profile Elements that will increase your
okay,
visibility on LinkedIn. Yes.
all right. In fact, I had a chance to download that guy, and I would say that he has like 90% of the things that I've never like thought about it before. In fact, I personally went to amend some of the things that are not so desirable on my own LinkedIn profile accordingly to the guide that I have received from you. Now, obviously, this video is all about like how to like increase our visibility and make that real connection with people on LinkedIn, which we know that is a very different social media platform as compared to like Instagram, Facebook, and all other things out there, right? So if any one of
Yes.
you who is interested to really like increase your visibility on LinkedIn. Now, Mike, tell me a little bit, tell us a little bit about what is the thing that you have for us over here.
So I've written a guide, which is the 5 critical profile elements to increase your visibility on LinkedIn. So you can go onto my website. My website is coachmikelee.com, coachmikelee.com. This is where you can download my this guidebook on how to increase your visibility. So I dive deep into these 5 elements, right? Your cover photo, your profile photo, your name, your
Yep.
profile summary, and your headline. So these 5 things. So I provided some examples and some templates on how you can, just tweak your profile to increase that visibility. Because at the end of the day, your LinkedIn is almost like a SEO platform as well, right? It's like
Right.
Google. When you do a search, you want to have certain keywords that you want to be known for. In fact, one other reason why you should be on LinkedIn and have an updated profile, when you search your own name, it is most likely that your LinkedIn profile will pop up above most other of most other websites that have you on it, right? Above
Uh-huh.
Facebook, above your personal website for most people.
Okay. That is interesting. So when we search our name on Google, it is very likely that our LinkedIn profile will show up as one of the search results or one of the top few search results.
Exactly, exactly. In fact, until now, my LinkedIn profile is still above my website and above my company's website as well.
Okay, that's interesting. That's something that again another mind-blowing thing that I've never knew that is present now. Now, if that is important, if somebody search for your name and LinkedIn is like one of the first few like top searches that comes out of the result, then I think anyone should really be paying very close attention. Now, especially for people I believe who is seeking a career change, because potential employers, the very first thing right now, they are not going to read your hard copy resume or your e-copy resume. The very first thing that I think that most people, I'm not a recruiter by training, but that's what I will do. If I'm going to be employing someone brand new in my company, I'm going to actually search for the person's name to look out for all the kind of dirt that I can find on Google. And now if LinkedIn is so important, I think anyone will be able to really take full advantage of that. Now, how much do you think, Mike, is worth for a potential job seeker? All right. How much is it worth? If you can actually put it in dollars and cents, how much is it worth for a potential job seeker to really have their LinkedIn profile all neat and tidy and shiny? How much, if you're going to be able to put a dollar and cents, how much would it be worth?
How much would it be worth? That's a good question because I've never thought about it. Um, it's it's something that is very low effort if you really think about it. But the returns that can get you, right? Let's say if I were to talk about my client who is right now in the middle of planning for a career transition and she made a change on her profile, right? That could mean an increment of possibly up to four figures, right?
Okay.
A few hundred
Let's
to
talk about the low end of a four figure. Let's just say $1,000.
yes,
That is the low end, right?
yes, yeah.
Right.
So and with the kind of effort that you put in, can you imagine? You take probably I would say half an hour of your time, right?
Okay.
10 minutes to read through, 10 to 15 minutes to read through, because it's a very simple to read through, very simple, but yet very deep because I dive deep into the psychological part of how people look at profiles, right?
Okay.
And spend the rest of the half hour to just tidy up your profile, right?
Right.
That is one of the best time you can invest for yourself.
Okay, so if somebody is going to go to coachmikely.com right now today to ask for your guide, all right, on the 5 critical profile elements that anybody should be able to change right now today on the LinkedIn, all right, how much are you going to charge them?
I'll charge them that four figures. No, it's totally free. In fact, this is kind of like I don't want to hold this back. This is something that should be available to everyone, right?
Okay,
You can even Google how to do up your profile. You know, you're gonna get very technical stuff. What I've done is to come from a very psychological point of view, and so that we
nice,
can tackle the emotions of the people who are reading your profile. So if you want to reach deep into the emotions of people when they read your profile, you know, feel free. This is totally
great.
free.
Okay, so it's a minimum kind of value of like $1,000 you're going to be getting. I mean, assuming if you're a job seeker, I mean, even if you're a business owner or entrepreneur who is looking to actually get more connections, more potential like leads over on LinkedIn itself, I think it's going to be worth a lot more. Now, this thing that Mike has done up is a guy, I've read it, it's awesome, it's good. His students have read it, has saying results already just by doing exactly what he has actually given in the guide itself. So if any one of you who wants to use LinkedIn as a strategic and to really leverage on its power to get all this good stuff coming your way, now the very first thing that you need to do is to do up your profile. And the best way to do that is not to go and Google and read out all the technical stuff, is to go and download this guide from Mike, which he is giving out for free right now. All right. So all you need to do is to go to coachmikelee.com to download this guide and to follow the step-by-step instructions and to start seeing results. All right. So is there anything else that you think is going to be potentially useful for our audience over here today, Mike? Before we leave this conversation, is there any last thing that we all should really take off on LinkedIn? Come on, don't hold back. Just tell us all.
I have so much to give. Well, all I can say is I have given one very useful tip at the end of the guide. At the end of the guide, on the last page, you'll see this one tip that I've given. I'm not going to reveal it. I want you to go and find it out for yourself, because this is the tip that helped me where I was posting content for a long time, right? For a few months, I just kept posting and nobody responded. I got no engagements at all. And this one tip was what helped me push my post to have lots of engagements to what I have today, right? Go find out what is that one last tip. And this is
Right.
the same tip that will help you.
Right. Now, for those of you who are watching this video right now, I want to tell you that I have already gotten the guide, all right, a while ago, and I know exactly what Mike is talking about on this last tip that he has put into the guide itself. Now, I'm not going to spoil the show for him, and what I really want to help you to do as well over here is to go and download the free guide, right? All you need to do is just to go to coachmikelee.com, put in your name, put in your email address, and that thing is going to be sent to you via email. You can open it up and read it. And even if you don't want to do anything with the first few pages, just go over to the last page or the last tip to really check out what Mike has for you. Now, I have gone through that, and I can tell you that that is worth every single thing that you can be doing on LinkedIn. That is totally worth it. So yeah, that's what I can say, and I agree with Mike. That is real good stuff over there. All right.
Yeah.
So
And more
with
than the
that
book,
big,
that I even have something extra after you receive my email, right, on the book.
okay.
I have so much stuff prepared for you, and so much stuff that I think that all of us should have hands on.
Okay, so there's more things coming apart from that guide that people are going to be receiving.
Yes, they are going to receive more things. I believe in just giving and
Okay.
giving. Yeah, because
Okay,
these
that is
are things
good.
that should be easily accessible. Yes.
Okay. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to receive all the other good things. I think I need to go back to the very same website and put in my email address again to receive all the additional good stuff. All right. So, all right, for anyone who's watching this right now, once again, I want to thank Mike over here for sharing all the insider secrets of his LinkedIn journey and all the things that he's been doing very well for himself on the LinkedIn platform. And I hope that you are able to gain all the good benefits from his guide. Once again, go to coachmikelee.com. All right, we're going to put a link. I believe, right, Mike's a link
Yes.
somewhere around this video, the comments somewhere. Just look out for it. All right, and so they can click on it and go and download the guide itself. So once again, thank you so much, Mike, for all the
Thank
good stuff
you.
you've given to us today. And for everybody watching this right now, thank you so much for your time. And we look forward to actually connect with you on LinkedIn. All right. So look for Mike, look for
Yes.
me, and we'll be very glad to talk to you more about LinkedIn on LinkedIn.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Ulysses.